How well do you know your child? You might think you know them very well. But here's the thing, children often turn up quite differently at school, as opposed to at the dinner table, or when they're playing with a small group of friends. And that is okay and absolutely natural. Just think about yourself. Do you show up in the same way when you're out with your friends, as opposed to when you're in your office? Probably not. And remember, children are young individuals who are still experimenting with their self-identity. It's healthy for them to try out different roles and ways of being. That's how they develop their unique personality. But as a parent, you want to know everything there is to know about your child. And there are only a few times a year when you have the opportunity to sit down and have a one-to-one conversation with those very precious people. I'm talking about your children's teachers, the parent-teacher conference. And in this episode, I'm going to give you some advice how to make the best use out of that precious time. My name is Gunilla Bengtsson. I've been a primary school educator for over 20 years. And this podcast is called It Takes a Village. This is where families and educators come together to collaborate on raising happy, resilient, and thriving children. So when you're sitting down with your child's teachers, you want to move beyond the ordinary, how is my child doing? Because that only shows you a very small part of the picture. You also want to know what kind of learner is my child? And what is my child's social life like at school? And also, how does my child respond to what is happening emotionally? So here's some practical and thoughtful questions you can ask your child's teachers. Number 1, what kind of activities does my child respond best to? Now this question gives you insight into what kind of learner your child is. At school there's a variety of activities. Sometimes kids are required to work collaboratively in a group. Other times they are asked to work independently on their own. Activities are creative, open-ended, or more structured and sequential. Now you want to know which one of those your child thrives in, as opposed to finding challenging, so you can support them with that at home. Question number 2, how does my child respond to challenges? Now this question gives you insight into whether your child is resilient and has problem-solving skills. You want to know if challenges motivate your child to try harder, or if it shuts your child down, so that you can support this at home. Because research shows that children who are resilient, who can manage challenges and cope with mistakes, do much better academically in the long run. Now, question number 3 is about social relationships. Ask your teachers, who does my child hang out with and what do those relationships look like? You want your child to have strong connections and have friends. It doesn't matter if your child plays with everybody or just have one close friend, as long as they're happy. And if things aren't working out socially for your child, you definitely want to know about it and you want to help support them from home. Question number 4, how does my child behave when working in a group? Now this question gives you insight into whether your child prefers to take on a leadership role or stays in the background quietly. It's not that every child has to be a leader, but every child should want to contribute positively and not stay passively during group work. And if they're lacking the confidence to step forward and participate, this is also something you can help them develop from home. Question number 5. How does my child respond when things are not going their way? This question gives you insight into your child's emotional resilience. Yes, children have the right to be angry and upset just as much as they have the right to be happy. But you don't want them to stay in those difficult emotions for too long. And if your child tends to be stuck and feel upset for an entire day, you want to help them in developing strategies to overcome those difficult feelings. Question number 6. How does my child manage conflicts? This question gives you insight into your child's empathy, perhaps negotiation skills, and emotional maturity. Conflicts are a part of school life, and when they happen, they are an opportunity for your child to develop these qualities, and that sets them up for life and healthy relationships. So next time you're heading off for that parent-teacher conference, keep these questions in your back pocket. They will help you move beyond the ordinary, is my child doing okay, into truly finding out how your child is doing as a learner, as a friend, and as a little human being. Thanks for listening. I hope you found this helpful. And don't forget to tell your children's teachers how much you appreciate them. Bye for now.